Good? All right. So it's April 15th, 2026, 73 degrees with 14-mile-per-hour winds. We're on the west slope, or the back slope. Basically, I've marked out our assessment shingle today in yellow, and our shingles that may be or have to be manipulated for the repair assessment in blue. I'll be marking any condition changes today in white, and documenting any kind of pull-throughs, mat transfer, or any other things that may occur. Before we get started, I always like to kind of check my appliques, make sure that they're all kind of sealed. It's got a little bit of looseness to it. So yeah, these are all pretty good. Everything seems to be sealed. So we are just trying to assess the repairability of these shingles today. So we're going to start off by unsealing our assessment shingle. I'm doing that with our traditional flat bar that has a very low pitch to it. That being said, it doesn't create as much arc when you're trying to remove the shingles. It's better for doing these repairs. So whenever I start removing these or unsealing these shingles, I like to start in between two of the appliques, the thicker parts of the shingle, as to create any less amount of opportunity for any kind of damage, essentially. Let's see if we can get this going here. Alright. Alright, so we have our assessment shingle unsealed. I'm now going to unseal 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's going to allow me to remove my fasteners. So I'm going to start off here with number 5. Basically just taking our time, staying flat with the decking. Want to make sure you're not rushing through this. I may have gone a little far out on my blue here. Correct this. My number 5 stops right there. Sorry, I did my area a little incorrectly. And we have to undo all of 6, even though only a portion of it is under there, because we are going to have to lift 6 to be able to install new fasteners. And number 8. Sometimes these sealants get pretty tough, and unfortunately little things like this happen where we have a small tear, and I'll document it with my phone, you're fine, on number 7 here. So let's go ahead and stop. And these are just complications that happen when you're doing these repairs on roofing systems. Tear on number 7 when unsealing shingle. Alright, so I believe I have all of my adjacent shingles unsealed now. So now I'm going to go under the assessment shingle and looking under number 5 to find my fasteners to remove. Alright, there's my first fastener here. Here's our first fastener. Our second fastener. Alright, I believe that's all of our fasteners under 5 and 6. We're going to move on under number 7 here. Now these 7 and 8 have more tension to them just because the shingles above aren't unsealed, so it does create a little bit more stress on the shingles. So I try to lift them as little as possible. When I am lifting them, I try to lift the applique, which is the thicker part of the shingle. Came out just fine. Now we'll move on to number 8. All right, so unfortunately we just had a pull through occur here on number 5, which pull through is when the shingle comes above the nail head and basically leaves a hole in the shingle. Documentation on this. Sometimes when these shingles become just a little bit more brittle, these things happen. Pull through on shingle 5. Pull through on shingle 5. Once again, trying to take my time around these fasteners and everything. Sometimes these condition changes are just unavoidable. Sorry about that. All right, and we have number 6 out. That may be our last fastener, so let's give that a shot here. See if this thing slides out for us, and it does. So at this time, we like to inspect our assessment shingle. Can I see your tape measure? Sorry. Thanks, man. All right, so our shingle is measuring at 39 3/8. Looks as though basically what I'm doing now is just kind of checking for any kind of mat transfer. It looks like we have a little bit of mat transfer here that would have come from 5 or 6. Yep, so a little bit of issues here that we'll document. That would have come from number 5. Basically, the mat transfer will leave exposed fiberglass on the bottom of these shingles, which basically weakens the integrity of them. I gotta mat transfer number 5. Alright, while we have our shingles out, we always like to check our underlayment and our additional adjacent shingles. So, confirming we do have felt paper here. And it was not impacted by us removing that shingle. We're going to check our other shingles for any kind of mat transfer as well. And we have some more mat transfer here on number 7 from number 5. Mat transfer from shingle 5 to shingle 7. Alright, trying to these photos with the sunlight. You know. We got a little bit more mat transfer here on number 6 from number 4. Oh. Mat transfer from shingle 4 to shingle 6. Mat transfer from 4 to 6. So it looks like everything else is okay. We had a few complications here, but we are ready to reinstall our assessment shingle and add our new fasteners back in. So we know the shingle obviously fits due to we just kind of reusing it for this assessment. Lined up there. And we're going to start installing our fasteners here under number 5. So once again, lifting at the applique. Just try to not change or damage these shingles at all when we're reinstalling. Now, shingle manufacturer specifications state that we must install install the fasteners flush to the decking. So what I try to do is I try not to lift the shingle any higher than getting the fastener in flush and then having a little striking room. Let me document that real quick. fasteners in on number 8. Once again, these 7 and 8 are always a bit more difficult to lift due to having the tension of the shingles above. So, which right there, we're starting to get some increasing what I call tinting or delamination. So let's go ahead. It's just stuff that's unavoidable when working with shingles at this age. Delamination on shingle 8 when installing new fasteners. Alright, should have just a couple more here. So I'm trying to avoid this tear over here on number 7 to express it more. And once again, we're getting a little delamination here on number 7 as well that I'll document once I get these last fastener in. And we've got a little bit of extra mat transfer that I just saw as well. So at this time we have some mat transfer here on number 7 and some delamination 7 as well. You know, we have some complications here. We've gotten the shingle reinstalled. I'll put my report together, but at this time I'd be concerned about doing spot repairs to uphold the integrity of the roof. Thank you very much.